Today I'm in Traer, Iowa to see the world's second largest collection of salt and pepper shakers.
Welcome to the Traer Salt and Pepper Shaker Gallery. Everything you see out on the shelves here in the gallery is from the collection of one person, Ruth Rasmussen. She is at present 94 years old and lives in our nursing home here in Traer, still able to come down on occasion for bus tours and things like that. She started collecting in 1946, and by the time the city of Traer acquired Ruth's collection in 2008, she had very close to 15,000 pair. She had a very small two-bedroom house. She had 1,500 pair in cabinets in the house, and then she also had two small buildings in the backyard that she and her husband had put there and then furnished with lots and lots of shelves. And she had the rest of her collection out in those two small buildings. So she had her entire collection out. She prided herself on not having duplicates. When we packed up her collection, which was a mammoth job, because all of these pairs of shakers that you see here had to be wrapped. And, you know, you multiply close to 15,000 times 2, you've got about 30,000 pieces that had to be wrapped and boxed. And the boxes taped shut so they wouldn't tip over or whatever. And we actually didn't have our present building at that time. So they were taken to an empty building on Main Street until we acquired this building and had it ready to unpack boxes. And then it was quite an undertaking just to get this building moved here. Pioneer Hybrid gave us the building, but it was 8 miles from here, and we had to raise the money to move it and to put a basement under it. So we had a workspace and a storage space, and then it was just a whole community effort, I guess. I would wager there was probably 50 people involved from around the community, and we just all thoroughly enjoyed working together on this project.
Thank you.
You're welcome. This is probably the part of the collection she's most proud of. And she never went to any of these countries herself. Most of them were brought to her by people who did travel. Yeah. And the rest of them, in 1952, Ruth started going through magazines. At that time, it was post-World War II. There were people from other countries who were seeking pen pals from the United States. So in the back of magazines, there would be columns of people, and she would go through every magazine she could lay her hands on that had those columns of names and addresses. And if anyone mentioned an interest in shakers, then she would write to them and ask them if they would like to trade with her. So a bunch of these came about because she traded with somebody from another country. And I think that is so cool. Wow. I just think that's great. And the two shelves here from Canada, quite a few of those came about because she made friends with some collectors from Canada. Sure. And they would stop here in Traer between, they'd be up north at home and then headed for the Gulf for the winter. And they would stop in Traer to see Ruth and to see her shakers, and they would bring her shakers. So quite a few of those came about because of that. So she really enjoyed her collection. She got so much joy from it, and yeah, she really did. And she is so enjoying the fact that there's so many more people now that are seeing them, the collection now that we have it here.
Salt shakers came into existence in the 1920s. Previously, salt was typically served in small bowls or containers because it has a tendency to attract moisture and become lumpy. Then, the Morton Salt Company introduced an anti-caking agent to its product, and that made it possible to pour the salt from a sealed container. Thus, the salt shaker was born. But it was really the automobile that really led to the shaker's popularity as a collectible item. As people could travel around more freely, either for work or vacation, the souvenir industry burst into existence. Salt and pepper shakers were cheap, easy to carry, colorful, and made great mementos. The Traer Salt and Pepper Gallery has over 16,000 different sets of shakers and is still growing. They pride themselves on having no duplicates in the collection. Their collection contains examples of knotters, huggers, kissers, go-whiffs, hangers, long boys, tall boys, condiment sets, and many other types of shakers in porcelain, glass, ceramic, metal, plastic, and even wood.
And this is probably Ruth's favorite knotter because she had that at home for a long time before she brought it to us, so I know she likes it.
Never heard of these.
Yeah. We have about 45 pair of knotters, so we are blessed.
Regular adult admission is $3. The gallery is open March 1st through November 30th, Tuesday through Saturday from 1 to 5 p.m. And during December 1st through February 22nd, you can call for an appointment. The gallery is closed on major holidays. Thanks for joining me on my visit to the Trayer Salt and Pepper Shaker Gallery. I have to say, it far exceeded my expectations before visiting. I never knew that shaker collecting was a very serious hobby. It was a real joy to explore the gallery and see all the different displays they had set up, all the different types and genres of shakers. And the gallery director, Ellen, was a great host, very informative, and couldn't be nicer. If you're ever near Trayer, Iowa, make some time to stop by the Salt and Pepper Shaker Gallery. You won't be disappointed. Stay tuned after the credits for a bonus bit of history on the town of Trayer. And until next time, stay weird.
In 1893, almost everything on that side of the street and that whole block burned. All wooden structures, all connected, yeah.
So
Went up.
it's
So then
in
when
the 300 block?
in the 500 block,
Oh, okay.
yeah. When the newspaper owner owned a chunk of that, when he rebuilt, he decided to put his newspaper on the second floor so he could rent out to other business owners because it was a boom time. And that was the way people had to go to his newspaper office. Now, when it started, the stairs were closer to the building, we're told. And then when they actually put the sidewalk in, I believe that was in 1914, they told him he had to get rid of those stairs because it's blocking the sidewalk. His answer to it was to put them out closer to the street and then a catwalk. So, but people used to line up those winding stairs and the catwalk once a week to get their paper before anybody else had it. They wanted to pick it up before it came in the post.